Good morning, guys. I decided I quite like coming to you from my bed so that I can have the fan on me because my body is a heater. Um, Today is episode 4, and I want to just kind of go through a few little tips and tricks about each of the various platforms that I mentioned last time, just so you can avoid some of the trauma that I went through. So the first thing I'm going to start with is Meta. Now, I don't know if you have an existing Facebook and Instagram page for your business. A lot of people start with that. They think that's the best way to market. And the truth is, if you don't have any budget whatsoever, then I certainly would recommend starting out on just posting on Facebook community groups that you're a part of, saying hi, I've got this product, is anyone interested, or does someone want to trial it for me? But the truth is, in my experience, you can only go so far with asking your friends to like your Facebook page. Sorry, I need to move, I'm boiling. um um and so on and so forth. So now I look like a model. So I would say really the only thing that you need a Facebook page for is so that you can access Meta, which will allow you to do everything in a far more streamlined way. But my advice there would be to have a like everything's kind of the same, use the same email for your Facebook, for your Instagram, for your Meta, so that you don't forget. And the first the most important thing is that everything it has access to each other. So for example, now what I do is my Instagram page is literally just hundreds of reviews. I think that the most important thing is not for your page to look like everyone else's page. So all the other natural deodorant pages, I don't think mine looks like that theirs at all. There's not a single picture of my deodorant. There's just screenshots of the review emails that I get, and that's it. And I schedule those in advance. So whenever I get a review, I take a screenshot and then I schedule it. If at the moment we've got posts scheduled till I don't know the middle of March, and those just go off automatically each day. It's a post on Instagram and a post on Facebook, but I'm not manning the Instagram, I'm not manning the Facebook. And I can't really say directly that I get business from people visiting my Facebook page or visiting my Instagram page. I do think people who might be intrigued but not sold will go through the Instagram and read all the reviews, because some of them are so funny. One woman said she's so grateful her son no longer smells like a grave digger. We thought that was so funny. um, and other funny things like that. So then I think indirectly it kind of garners sales, because people can see, potential customers can see that other people have bought my deodorant with success. And let's just say, for example, they think that I'm engineering the reviews. There's so many reviews there and they're so different, and some of them are from WhatsApp, some of them are from inbox, some of them are from email. Hopefully a person would assume that I don't have that much free time that I can sit there generating all these fake screenshots. I guess maybe I could, but whatever, I don't. Um, but the point I'm trying to make is that I don't think that Instagram and Facebook proper is what's going to get sales. It's how you use it through the funnel with Meta and with paid reach. The next step in the funnel that I spoke to you guys about was Wix. Now, I made the mistake. There's something that Facebook uses called a pixel. And a pixel has nothing to do with photography. It's, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it, but basically it sends information back to Facebook, okay, back to Meta. So for instance, if someone's on Instagram and they see my advert and they click on it and then they go to my website and then they land up buying deodorant, the pixel will that's on my website will talk to Meta and say this person clicked and bought, and that's how you gather data, which you need to grow your business. So I made the mistake. I set up my website on Wix, and then I set up a platform on Equid, and then I integrated the Equid into Wix. And for a long time, it was the free Equid. So I wasn't paying at all to have an e-commerce store. Whereas on Wix, it's quite expensive to add the e-commerce store. But the mistake that I made was I set up the Wix pixel in my Meta suite instead of setting up the Equid pixel in my Meta suite. So all I could really see was if someone got to my landing page or got to another page, but I couldn't see any information about checkout or sales. Whereas now that I've changed that, I can literally see on my Meta profile how many times a particular ad was clicked, which clicks resulted in a sale, what the value of the sale is, and how much it cost me for that click, and what the return is on my spending. So it's so critical to have that information, because then you know which ad campaigns to scale and spend more money on. So basically, that would be my next piece of advice. When you're setting up this whole situation and you're linking everything together, the pixel is critical. So set up the basically, you'll go to Meta and you'll want to set up a pixel. It'll prompt you. When you're doing that, then you'll choose an integration, and like just a plugin to do it. And then so choose Equid, and then it's like super easy. You like copy and paste and click, and it's done. The next thing, I mean, I think I spoke about domains a lot. I don't want to I don't want to discuss Meta proper, because I'm going to do a whole video just on that, on marketing, and that might even be 2 videos as well. So I would just say the main thing is that when you're setting up your Meta and your pixel to do it to your Equid, I want to say something about PayFast or WalletDoc or whichever payment portal you choose. I really would not recommend having a cash on delivery or a pickup option, potentially in the beginning, but it becomes absolutely exhausting when people think that they can just come to your house and schmooze you and not pay for delivery, whatever the case is. And especially COD, we had a lot of people just kind of placing, or we had this other option where you could manually make an EFT. So then we'd be sitting, waiting to see 2, 3, 4, 5 days if they made an EFT. Then we'd be following up. It was just a complete waste of energy. And a lot of times they would process the order and maybe just see if we'd send it before they'd made the EFT. It was just a nightmare. So even though you can have those options cash on delivery or pickup, I really wouldn't, because it's just a very, very quick way to weed out who is serious about buying and who's taking a chance. And the truth is if someone's really struggling, if someone really wants my deodorant and they're struggling to do an instant EFT, which PayFast does facilitate, and which is what we do have, and they really want to make an EFT, they'll email me and they're like, I don't know what the problem is, my bank isn't syncing or whatever the case is. Usually just to refresh on their side works, but I'm just saying, serious buyers, if they want your product, they'll email you, they'll get in touch. You won't be left in a situation where, because you didn't have a COD option, you lost the sale. They'll make a plan. So I think that is very important. Now, the last thing that I want to say is kind of all of this back end stuff, which is sort of the fancy things that you don't really see. And again, I'm going to punt Equid because it's there automatically. The abandoned cart recovery email is there automatically. So many marketers are obsessed with email marketing. I literally hate it, as I've mentioned before, but I do think it's worth creating an email database of all your customers for like unique ad hoc announcements. But even like the auto emails that Equid offers you, like a purchase anniversary, and like I think those things are like they don't really add much value to a person's life, and you may like get a sale out of it or another sale, but you may also encourage so many of your customers to unsubscribe, which is worse because you like killing them in the water. So I would say even when initiating those like automated back end things, be very, very discerning because you really don't want to piss anyone off. I spoke about domains last time in terms of how I actually think making our domain.com was a mistake because there's such a population to access in our country that I don't actually think I would ever want to extend out of South Africa. And I still constantly get emails saying, "Are you based in South Africa?" Because they see .com and they think it's overseas. So don't be scared to say .co.za. It's not unprofessional. Oh, another thing I want to say is that everyone kept saying to me like, "Oh, you must have like Simon at smartmuppetsdeodorant.com, and then you have to pay for that, like for a personalized email address," which I think is the biggest of rubbish. We still have a free mothersnaturetribe at gmail.com email, which is the address that all our stuff goes in and out from. And like, no one has ever said, I'm not buying deodorant from you because you don't have a personalized email domain. It's just a waste of money. Um, you know what I actually do want to talk about, which is going like 25 steps back, is Canva. So Canva is the most unbelievable app to create like a logo, branding, stickers, whatever the case is. And I can't stress this enough that you should not be spending money on like graphic design. Like unless it's like something profane, no one actually cares what your logo looks like. They care if your product does what it says it does. Um, this whole concept of branding is such rubbish. The creator doesn't create a brand. The consumer network creates a brand. I've created a product, but it used to be called Mother's Nature deodorant. It's now called Smell My Pits. It's irrelevant. It's the deodorant that works. It's the deodorant that kills stink. It's got nothing to do with the name or the logo or the brand. Um, so I really would not get bogged down with that at all. Um, go onto Canva, make a logo, make a sticker, keep it simple. You know, make it something that you like and you're not going to get sick of, and then don't worry about it because the logo is not what sells anything. And it doesn't matter how magnificent your logo is. If your product sucks, you're not going to sell it. And even if your logo sucks but your product's amazing, you're going to make sales. And you can make changes at any time. Like people are so terrified to like make a brand change because like I don't know, Cadbury's once changed the font and then they lost sales. You are not Cadbury's, I'm not Cadbury's, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that anymore. You're going to put your product out there, and if it's worthwhile, the consumers are going to, like in their collective unconscious and consciousness, that's where the brand will be created. You're not going to create it, there's nothing you can do. So that is an important point. I think I will do a video just in terms of like following up on that like product development with Canva, but I think that will be like a PS. Um, and we'll talk a lot more about Canva when I do the marketing video itself. But yeah, I just wanted to cover a few little extras. I did talk a lot about DSV in the previous video, but if you have more questions, you can set up an account with a courier guy. You can. It depends what the price point of your product is, and you know South Africans are price sensitive. Shipping at this point in time, like rather give your customers cheaper shipping, even if it takes a couple days longer. South Africans are not so fussy with that. And yeah, that's the story.